Hello boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and pumpkin connoisseurs. Bill here with B&S Giant Pumpkins. Today is June the 28th, 2026, and we'll give you our update on our pumpkins. Today is DAP 17 on our oldest pumpkin, and will be DAP 14 on our youngest pumpkin. So we'll take a look at this and give you a quick review, see what we got going on. And yeah, nothing fantabulous, but at least you'll get to see. All right, we're gonna start with the garden patch. The garden patch is getting full. There is a stark contrast between these two plants. Obviously this is one, this is my 1886. And then we have the 2551 Ford that we'll look at here in a minute. This plant is roughly 30 foot across. And if you notice, this is a very, very low profile plant this year. In the past, it has not been, but this year it's very low profile. The leaves are small, kind of a good dark, close to bullfrog green. And then you get up to these other secondaries that are a little lighter. We've had a little over 7 inches of rain this month, so I have only watered 200 gallons of water the whole month of June, which means there's a little fertilizer going out. I'm hoping my soil is taking care of compensating for me. Oops. We'll get out here to the fruit. The fruit is, he's only 14 days old. He's doing good. Sorry, I had to itch my arm. We'll pull this off. I don't know what he weighs. He's a good looking fruit. He's got the same light color as we had last year with our 1886 that I crossed with the 2501. And then last year I crossed it with the 2357 Jacobus. So it's a good looking fruit. I did manage to get my mill fabric out today with the help of my wife while I picked the pumpkin up. She was able to slide it on there for me. I don't have the scales out, which is crazy. I have 2 scales and I don't have either one under a fruit. And it's gonna remain that way for the year, so time constraints. I will say with the light, the way it's hitting these secondaries here, they look really light. At least from my view. I don't know what it looks like in the camera. A lot darker back here, but there's a lot of plant out here. This fruit in particular, the one I went with, is about 18 foot off the crown. Everything looks good. I've not had any complications or anything like that with the plant, but I've also not been out here very much to see him, other than pulling a few weeds here and then, watching it rain, and just hoping everything does good. Ooh, slickery. It's still wet. It's a swamp, kind of. The only thing we've actually done, really, other than just occasionally spraying for insects and fungus, is pull weeds. Seems like it's my new hobby, pulling weeds every time I come out. But this thing is terminated. I mean, everything's terminated all the way down through here. That's terminated right there. These will be terminated soon. It's a kind of a crazy layout because you see the pumpkin way up there, and these are secondaries or main vine coming back this direction. So they're gonna be well over 28, about 28 foot long, maybe 30 foot long coming this way, and the other direction are gonna be short. So I'll be curious to see if the pumpkin's lopsided based off the feeding or if it just adapts to it. The crown on this plant is not substantial. It's nothing to write home about. It's decent. Kind of actually picks up as it goes down through there. I do need to get some weeds out around the main vine here. A lot of white fiberglass rods poking up. We did have a pretty good windstorm, and it rolled some vines on me, which I have had to reprop up, partially bury. But there's nothing really buried out here in this patch, and I'm glad it's not, because with all this rain, like I said, about 7 inches this month, and we get it in 3 inches at a time for some reason. I'd be super concerned about vine disease. So this is the garden patch. We'll go look at our other plant, which is, like I said, stark contrast, 100% different type of plant. Looks different, everything's different, and that fruit is DAP 17 today. So it's 3 days older than this fruit. And we'll talk a little bit about fruit sizes. Okay guys, this is our garden patch, and I'm sure you can already see the stark contrast in plant. Our little willy-dilly watermelon, I think we're gonna pick him off today or tomorrow. He quit growing a couple days ago. I mean, I'm not measuring him or taping him, but this poor little plant is taking a beating, and I think we're gonna pick it, maybe give it a couple more days, I don't know, and then pick it and see what it tastes like. So nonetheless, when I say I have a plant, this plant is our 2551 Ford. It reminds me a lot of my original 2388 plant when I grew it, because it is ginormous. I'm doing nothing different on either plant. They're both getting the same nutrients, which is basically rain and what's in the soil. This rascal has a crown that is bigger than a pop can, substantially bigger than a pop can, and it definitely continues down through there. I did do some cleaning up on the crown today. I do have some weeds out here closer, the first 10 foot on either side of the main that I have to get in and clean out. I cut some tertiaries off earlier today. Weeds. When you get rain, they come up everywhere. So gotta go through and here in a minute, when we're done with this video, get the weed eater out and start whacking weeds around the edges, things like that. Slugs are my biggest enemy right now. I've not seen any cucumber beetles, squash vine borers, anything that actually to be concerned of yet, but I have continued to spray about every 7 to 10 days regardless. Like I said, this is the biggest plant I've ever had in my little, growing career on this early, which is making me believe that's probably why my fruit is not the size of what I would expect. This guy's got at least 14, 16 secondaries terminated on either side. I mean, between the two sides, I should say. Everything's terminated all the way down through there. This one will be terminated here in about a day based off the growth, 2 days, 3 days. And that's the little secondary right here coming off the back of the pumpkin. I don't know what this pumpkin weighs. I've not put a tape on it, but I have a pretty good idea what a 100 or 200 pound pumpkin looks like. It does not look like that. Now granted, my personal best happened last year when I hit 200 pounds. I think it was 199 pounds to be exact on day 20. I'm not super concerned. This fruit is day 17 or DAP 17, but when you have that much plant behind you, I mean, it's gonna have to either turn on or it's just gonna be a dud. I don't know. I got one little pumpkin out here at the end. I've already terminated Maine this year. I'm not playing the game of chasing it. And where's he at? He's in here somewhere. He's hiding. One more little fruit there that I could pollinate as a backup if this fruit is goes bad on us. I gotta get another fan out on the other patch. I gotta get these things covered up with some sort of shelter. It's just not happening this year. But nonetheless, we keep trying. So like I said, this is our 2551 Ford. And as far as plants concerned, I've not had a plant this big until probably DAP 40 normally. And we got it today, and today's DAP 17 with a smaller fruit than we're used to. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. Start feeding when we get a chance. Looks like the weather is gonna be hateful next week. Not in the rain sense, but more in the 90 to 100 degrees. So I definitely got to get some shelters over these things. I might try to pick at it tonight, if not by, you know, tomorrow evening when I get home from work. But if you want to see a great plant, guys, there it is. That thing is smoking huge. I don't know if I said it already, but it's 38 foot from here to that end. The fruit's set at 21 foot out here, but then it extends out another 16 feet. So got no complaints about the plant. I'm actually stopping all the plant growth just to hopefully get the pumpkin to pick up. And that's me not feeding, not watering, not doing anything. It's just growing off all the rain we've had and the soil, what's in the soil. So appreciate you watching, guys. Hopefully that rascal tastes good. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. That's where we're at. June 28th. And we're right where we want to be, other than I wish that fruit was about 150 pounds, because that's where I'm used to being, versus I'm guessing 60, 70 pounds. I don't know. But they can pick up a lot. Hopefully the rain stops for a little bit and we can start feeding a little bit more. Try to push that growth when we have a chance. So there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. We'll try to give an update next weekend or the week after.